Why eat your sandwich or burger on a regular roll when you could take it to the next level with a pretzel roll? Hi, I'm Saria.
And I'm Afton.
And we're going to show you how to make pretzel rolls at home.
So the equipment you'll need is a stand mixer with a dough hook attachment, 2 bowls, 1 large and 1 small microwave safe, a spoon, a large liquid measuring cup, a whisk, a pastry brush, a paring knife, a ruler, a bench scraper.
What's a bench scraper?
So a bench scraper, it can be used to cut dough into pieces. You can also use it to scrape things up off of a cutting board. This bench scraper is included in your box. We're also going to need a rimmed baking sheet with a sheet of parchment paper, plastic wrap, oven mitts, and a cooling rack.
And for the ingredients, you'll need 3 3/4 cups flour, 1 1/2 cups of water, vegetable oil, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons oil, and 2 teaspoons yeast.
It's important to use instant or rapid rise yeast in this recipe, not active dry yeast.
And the yeast is included in your box. Then to finish off the rolls, you'll need 1/2 cup of water, 1 egg lightly beaten with a fork, a tablespoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of pretzel salt.
Okay, so we're gonna get cooking. And the first thing we're gonna do is combine our dry ingredients in the bowl of the stand mixer. So we're gonna add the flour in. Great job. Nice, there we go. We're gonna add our yeast and salt. Now we're gonna take the whisk and whisk these all together. Just go around a few times until it's nicely combined. Yeah. Now we're gonna attach this to the mixer and we're going to add our dough hook. This is what is gonna knead the dough for us. Lock that. And now we need to combine all of our wet ingredients. A large liquid measuring cup, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 1/2 cups of water. Whisk this all together until all the sugar is dissolved. So now we're going to add our water mixture to the flour mixture. So we're gonna start the mixer on low speed, and if you can just pour it in really slowly, right down the side. And every last drop. And now we're gonna let this mix for 2 minutes until there's no dry flour visible and it's all combined.
Okay.
Now our dough is mixed together and we're going to knead it. So we're going to change the speed to medium-low and we're gonna let it knead in the mixer for 8 minutes. I'm gonna turn off the mixer. Stand mixer did a lot of work for us, did a lot of kneading, but we need to do a little bit of work and finish kneading it by hand. Oh! So we're gonna just take this dough and transfer it to the countertop. To knead the ball, we're gonna use the heel of our hand, push it away from you, and then sort of grab the edge and pull it close to you, kind of fold it in half, and then push again, and then you're gonna turn it in a circle. And why don't you give it a try? Let's give it one more push, and then what we're gonna do is flip it over, and I'm gonna use both of my hands and kind of push on it and turn it in a circle. Nice little dough ball. So now we need to give it a place to land. So if you take this large bowl, we're gonna spray it with vegetable oil spray so that the bread doesn't stick.
Okay.
Yeah, get the sides and the bottom, perfect. And cover it up. We're gonna let this rise until it's doubled in size, which should take about an hour to an hour and a half. So why don't you take that and let it hang out on the counter to rise. So while our dough is rising, we're gonna get a couple things ready for later. First thing is we're gonna line this rimmed baking sheet with a piece of parchment paper. So that's all set. And then we're gonna spray it with vegetable oil spray. There you go. And both of these things together are gonna make sure that the pretzel rolls don't stick. Thank you. So this is all set and we're gonna save it for later when we're ready to bake. And now we're gonna get our baking soda water ready. And this is going to be something that helps our pretzels get their nice pretzel-y color. We're gonna add a 1/2 cup of water to this bowl, a tablespoon of baking soda, And you can put that right into the bowl. So we're gonna heat this up in the microwave until it turns clear and the baking soda dissolves, which should take 1 to 2 minutes. All right, so our mixture is mostly clear. The bowl's pretty hot, so you need to make sure we use oven mitts to take it out. Great, nice job. Great, okay. So now we're gonna use the spoon to stir this together until the baking soda dissolves.
What does the baking soda do?
So the baking soda is going to give our pretzel rolls this really nice dark brown crust and that kind of classic pretzel-y flavor. In bakers are making pretzels, they usually boil them in water with a chemical called lye, and it's a little bit dangerous to do at home. So instead, we're gonna use baking soda, which is similar to lye, and just in this nice warm water instead of boiling water. That looks good.
Okay.
We're just gonna set this aside to cool until our dough is ready. Whoa, look at our dough. It doubled in size. So now we're gonna take this dough and we're gonna turn it from dough into little dough balls. Now we're gonna shape this into about a 12-inch log. So why don't you help me here? Let's sort of mush it. And you can gently press with your fingertips, get rid of some of the extra air. And if there's any big bubbles like that, you can pop it.
Bubbles.
There you go. Now we're gonna use my favorite tool, the bench scraper. And we're gonna cut it into 8 pieces. So why don't you hang on to that? Press right down and cut it in half. Nice. Yeah, and sometimes you have to saw a little bit. Okay, so now that's 2. But let's take these 2.
Okay.
And we're gonna pat these out into a square. Just gently use your fingertips. And then take a corner. It can be sort of a rectangle, and squish it into the middle. Go all the way around.
Yeah.
Go all the way around, and once you have all your corners and edges in, you can pinch. Now we're gonna flip the dough ball over. And then can you make a backwards letter C with your hand? Nice job. You're gonna go in little circles and push a little bit with your thumb and your fingers kind of all flat. There you go.
Yeah.
And go in circles, ooh, around and around and around and around. Okay, so we have all of our dough balls, and now we have to give them a bath. We made this baking soda water solution earlier. The baking soda is gonna turn the crust a nice deep dark brown, and it's gonna give it that kind of pretzel-y flavor. So you're gonna take a dough ball, and we're gonna just dip it in the water all the way around, and then we're gonna put it on the tray with the seam side down. Okay, so flip it over. Okay, so now we've got all of our dough balls evenly spaced on the tray, and we're gonna cover them with some greased plastic wrap. Spray it with vegetable oil spray, and then put the grease side down. You wanna make sure you cover them with the plastic so it stays nice and soft. And we're gonna let these rise on the counter for 45 minutes until they get nice and puffy. In the meantime, we need to turn on our oven so that we can bake our rolls. Oh, looks like our oven rack is in the middle, so that's good. And if you can just set this to bake, and 425 degrees.
Okay. There we go.
Nice, and then just hit start. Okay, so it's been 45 minutes and our rolls are looking nice. I'm gonna take off our plastic wrap, and now we're gonna brush these rolls with some beaten egg. So grab your pastry brush, dip it in there. Yeah, you wanna cover it all the way over. It's gonna turn it this really pretty dark brown, and it's gonna have something for our salt to stick to. All right, we can set that aside. And now I'm gonna take a paring knife and we're gonna cut across into the top of each roll. This lets some of the air escape while it's baking. Just make a slash across the top, not too deep. And then we're gonna go the other way and make an X. X marks the spot. Why don't you try one?
Okay.
Okay.
It's so cold.
It is cold.
It's like really gooey and like mushy.
And then the last thing we need is pretzel salt. So let's take our salt and we're gonna sprinkle it all over the rolls.
The better.
That's right. So now we're gonna bake our pretzel rolls and they're gonna take about 16 to 20 minutes. We're gonna bake them until they're nice, deep, golden brown. Nice job. Okay. Wow, these look great. Let's put them on the cooling rack. Whew, nice job. These look awesome. Nice and shiny from that egg wash of our pretzel salt. These are almost done, but first we need to let them cool for an hour. So, whoa! Wow, we have sandwiches and burgers. Great way to use your pretzel roll. Let's try them. 3, 2, 1. Mmm. Mmm.
It's good.
Yeah, it's got sort of a crisp crust on the top.
It's soft on the inside.
Yeah, it's soft and squishy inside. What do you think? How does this compare to a regular hamburger bun? Better, worse, better?
Yeah.
I think this really takes the sandwich to the next level. Absolutely. Well, for more fun bread recipes that you can make at home with your family, you can visit atkkids.com.